Like we just said, these are all automatic. So obviously for the ATV media guys, some of this stuff you guys already know, but for some of the shooting guys that we haven't worked with in the past, I'll go over some of the basic function of the machine, just in case you haven't ridden an ATV in a long time or a different brand or model. The ATV, of course, has a thumb throttle, not a twist, like a motorcycle. You've got a high, low, neutral, reverse, and park on the Grizzly for the transmission. There's a key switch down here on the right side. These units are fuel injected, so there's no choke or anything you need to worry about, not that it's cold out. But you can start the vehicle in neutral or park with this green button without touching any brakes or anything. You can start the vehicle in gear by applying the rear brake. This left hand is your rear brake, and also there's a rear brake at your right foot as well. There's a foot lever. They do the exact same thing. It's just a matter of personal preference. This is the front brake. We believe strongly in separate brakes on an ATV. It's important to have control over the front and rear tires separately. Most of what we're going to do here, if you're not real familiar with ATVs, just apply both brakes, equally. But that engine braking thing that I just talked about, that's going to be something you're going to notice. You really just let off the gas and the vehicle will start to slow down on its own. There's an engine stop switch over here, this red button, or this red switch as well. And then some of you guys might notice there's a gray button down here it says override. And what that is, if you're in diff lock mode, if you fully lock the front differential, you'll see a red light come on and it actually says diff lock. There's a 22-mile-an-hour speed limit in diff lock. When we first came out with that feature, there's certain situations where you get in a mud hole, for example, and the wheels would actually be spinning faster than that. So we actually installed an override button because it would start to cut the ignition at that point. And this is before power steering, where the steering was getting really heavy, so we didn't want people driving or riding that fast with the front differential lock. So there's not going to be any opportunity really for that here. I just want to explain the controls. You won't really need it today or this week. We've got a digital display here. It's got an odometer, a clock, dual trip meters, a fuel gauge, and then it's also got your four-wheel drive indicator like I talked about. Two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and then diff lock. So that's a servo motor that's actually engaging and disengaging the front differential.